Hi everybody, I'm Rook, welcome to the table. Got a Yugioh Speed Duel match for you today. I am playing a variation of Warrior Burn. I'm using Twisted Personality, play testing some decks some more. Haven't put a deck profile together yet. I'm still trying to get the kinks out of some of these decks I'm building. I'm playing Curseof today, who is playing his Relinquished deck. I believe that this is the deck that he recently took second place in a tournament with, and he made a video about that, a deck profile on his Relinquished deck, so please go check that out. But I'm playing some type of Warrior Burn today. As you can see, there are no warriors in my hand, but I'm choosing to go second. Curseof opening with a set monster and a set back row. I have Zoma, Nightmare Wheel, Half Shot, Windstorm of Takua, and Zoma. Double Zoma. So I'm setting both Zomas and the Nightmare Wheel here. Oh, yep, there's both Zomas. Zoma the Spirit going to be so good because there's the monster there. I activate my Twisted Personality, so that's on the field. That's activated at the start of the duel. And most likely what I'm going to try and do here is get both Zomas on the field on Curseof's end phase so I can start getting some monsters on the field. And Curseof had a Zoma as well in his back row, so on my end phase he activated. So Zoma the Spirit activates as an effect monster, starts in defense mode, but main phase 1 he's able to spin that right into attack mode. That's 1800 attack, and it also has an effect where it will deal life point damage equal to a monster's attack if it's destroyed by battle. But he's also got the Yugioh flipped up and a Gravekeeper's Curse, so I'm taking 500 damage. That puts a point on Twisted Personality for me, but he's got a really strong field of monsters right now. Yugioh at 1200 attack. Obviously he was trying to bait out destroying a monster with that. And he's going to start with Zoma. So I have 2 Zomas and Nightmare Wheel. So I could pop Zomas here to try and soak that damage, or I could Nightmare Wheel one of them. I'm going to take that 1800 from Zoma and place another counter on Twisted Personality. And then Yugioh, I don't know if I want to take that, so I'm going to Nightmare Wheel the Yugioh, looking to try and get rid of Zoma. That's why I Nightmare Wheeled the Yugioh, because I can keep that out and I want to get that burn from Nightmare Wheel. And he's going to try and swing Gravekeeper's Curse for 800, and I will take that. So turn 2, Curseof's already dropping me all the way down to 900 life points, but I have all 3 counters on Twisted Personality, and I get both Zoma the Spirits activated on his end phase. So both of those monsters going into defense mode, and it's going to be my turn here. So main phase 1, I have 3 counters to work with, so I can try and get rid of a face-up monster that he has by removing all 3 counters. He's taking 500 from the Nightmare Wheel on Yugioh. I am removing all 3 counters, and I'm getting rid of his Zoma. So his Zoma is very devastating to me right now, because if I were to beat over it or crash into it with a Zoma, we'd each be taking life points equal to an attack that beat over our Zomas. That's all part of Zoma's effect. So I'm removing all of the life point counters to get rid of that Zoma carefully without destroying it by battle. Now putting both Zomas into attack mode, and I am going to go ahead and set the Windstorm of Takua and the Half Shut as well. Try and now be mindful of my life points. I'm beating over that Gravekeeper's Curse with 1 Zoma, so he's taking 1000 from that, and that's already getting counters back up on my Twisted Personality. Now, Curseof's skill is not Twisted Personality. He is using, I believe it is the Thousand Eyes spell to synergize with Relinquished. So now I have another Zoma I can attack with, but Nightmare Wheel's on the Yugioh, and if I attack with a Zoma, he's going to be able to take a monster with him, and I don't want that because of Yugioh's effect. So I'm just going to let that ride. Nightmare Wheel is doing damage for me as well anyway, so I'm just going to let that happen. Main phase 1 for Curseof, who's got 3 cards in hand now, but I have a significant board advantage, especially with my Windstorm and Half Shut set. I'll be able to kind of deflect any attacks that'll try and get rid of my Zomas. So let's see if Curseof has some back row removal, or if he's able to get the Relinquished here. Curseof finally activating the Thousand Eyes spell, so he must have the Relinquished here in his hand, and he's ready to complete the ritual. So Thousand Eyes spell acts as it steps in by discarding a card. You can complete the ritual, so he has to discard a card, and of course he does have to tribute monsters equal to Relinquish to get rid of it. So he's tributing Yugioh, which gets rid of my Nightmare Wheel. That's very smart from him, and he's discarding his Sphere Creebo. Relinquished enters the field, and he's going to take one of my Zomas. So Zoma is going to equip to Relinquish. That's going to be 500 defense, 1800 attack, Relinquished. And he's going to go ahead and end. So I have 1 Zoma out, and I could attack. Relinquished is in defense mode, so I could attack and beat over that. That's 500 defense, but then I would need another monster to completely destroy Relinquished. Otherwise, the next turn he's just going to suck up that next Zoma. I draw the Amazoness Swordswoman, so that's the first warrior here in this Warrior Burn deck. And as you can see, I'm using Amazoness Swordswoman and Half Shut, trying to do a little bit of that with the Half Shut warriors that I was playing around with before. Really works against big monsters, but Relinquished isn't quite the monster to use it on, because not all the time is it going to have attack. It's really useful against huge monsters, 3000 plus attack. Main phase 1, I'm going to summon Amazoness Swordswoman. I'm going to go ahead and set that other Half Shut, just have a full back row there. And Zoma the Spirit sitting at 1800, Amazoness Swordswoman at 15, and Amazoness Swordswoman's effect is that Curseof would take any battle damage involving this card. Not really helpful just yet. But I'm going to my battle phase, and I'm going to try and beat over this twice so I can get Relinquished out of here. Yep, so that's going to go through with Amazon Swordswoman. So beating over that Zoma defense at 500. And I'm going to go ahead and get aggressive. I'm activating the Windstorm of Ataku to put Relinquished into attack mode. That's 0 attack because it has no monster equipped to it. So this is going to be a straight 1800 unless that card in hand is Sphere Kuriboh, and it is not. So that is going away, and Cursive is taking 1800 life points, dropping them all the way down to 700. So really early, Cursive had me in a vice at 900 life points left, but now I've turned the tables here and I got him down to 700. Cursive's main phase 1 with 2 cards in hand. I have significantly turned this board into my favor, still having 2 half-shuts set along with my Swordswoman and Zoma. He's going to activate Dark Eruption, which is a really, really smart card in the Relinquished deck because you target one dark monster with 1500 less attack in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. That is basically always going to get you back Relinquished because the Relinquished is 0/0. So really smart using Dark Eruption to synergize with the Relinquished deck, and it looks like he's going to activate Thousand Eyes spell again. He's going to discard, the Illusionist Faceless Magician, the synergy here, and Sphere Kuriboh being able to banish in a form of a tribute as part of Sphere Kuriboh's effect, and he's getting Relinquished out again. He's able to take Amazon's Swordswoman from me. That's going to go over to his side of the field. We're going to see a 1500 attack, 1600 defense Swordswoman, which Zoma can beat over. But, like I said, I really won't want to do that unless I have another monster, otherwise the next turn Relinquished is just going to take my Zoma. Also, if I get Relinquished off the field, Illusionist Faceless Magician is going to come back, and it keeps swapping. Once Illusionist Faceless Magician goes off the field, Relinquished comes back, vice versa. So he managed to get that into the graveyard, so that's really, really good for him. Thousand Eyes spell, of course, helping him get that into the graveyard so we can start that loop. I'm going to do a hard pass. I drew my 3rd half shot, which is just not helping me right now. Passing my turn to Cursive, who just drew his first card here, just 1 card in hand. Really have to play around how I want to remove these cards off the field with Illusionist Faceless Magician. I could build up my Twisted Personality to 3 counters. Currently it is at 2. Ooh, and I drew the Lava Golem. Okay, so now maybe I want to maybe not get Relinquished off the field just yet. If he has another monster that he can put down, then I contribute both for Lava Golem, put Lava Golem to him, and then I can use Twisted Personality to remove the counters and get Lava Golem off the field. And then it doesn't work with the Relinquished and the Illusionist Faceless Magician because those both require that the cards are destroyed by like battle or card effect, whereas Lava Golem would just be a tribute. So I'm passing, Cursive draws, Cursive hard passes, so he must not have any monsters yet. I just drew my Nightmare Wheel, so now I'm not, this is all helpful because now I can maybe get Lava Golem out and then Nightmare Wheel him, which is really, really good synergy because that's burning him for 1500 a turn, total with Lava Golem with 1000, Nightmare Wheel with 500, but it's my main phase 1. I am going to drop both counters in Twisted Personality and drop a card. Oh, and it was New Doria, so he did have a second monster in his hand. Maybe he was anticipating the Lava Golem, or maybe he just didn't see a reason to put that down. But I did set the Nightmare Wheel into my turn. Cursive draws another card. That's 2 in hand. He's going to end his turn. So just kind of a stalemate. I'm going to activate Nightmare Wheel here to put the pressure on because Cursive only has 700 life points left. So 2 turns and it's over. So I'm going to draw a standby phase. He takes 500. That is 200. So he has to figure out how to get Nightmare Wheel off the field right now, or else he's going to lose. There's really no pressure for me to try and make any sort of move right now, because now he needs to have the magic removal to get rid of Nightmare Wheel. So my main phase 1, I can't use Lava Golem. I'm going to half-shut Zoma the Spirit just to get it off the field, and I'm going to set this second Zoma that I just drew, most likely. Yeah, there's the Zoma. So the half-shut's not really working for me right now, not really synergizing with Swordswoman like I want. And I did get a counter for the Nightmare Wheel on Twisted Personality, so that's good. So Cursive, 3 cards in hand. A deck like this is probably running, there it is, the Double Cyclone. Double Cyclone's going to be able to take Nightmare Wheel off the field and destroy 1 spell trap he controls. Usually that's pretty bad, but in the Relinquished deck that's really good because now he can destroy my Amazon Swordswoman, and then he's going to be able to take my Zoma. He's actually not going to target the Nightmare Wheel. He's going to target the back row that I just set. He knows that since I blew half-shut for no reason, this back row is probably going to be pretty good. And it is, it's a Zoma. So he's able to get that off the field, and then he's able to destroy Swordswoman, and now he's able to use Relinquished's effect to take Zoma the Spirit away from me. That's going to leave me with no monsters, but still he is going to need some other way to push for game right now if he can't destroy Nightmare Wheel, or else it's over. There it is, the normal summon Senju of the 1000 Hands. Senju's effect will trigger, allowing him to get a Relinquished from deck to hand. not really important. Right now, his main goal is he's going to try and push for game here, attack for 1400. But guess what? I have that half shut set. I'm going to half shut Senju of the Thousand Hands. So Senju can't be destroyed by battle this turn, but his attack is halved. So that only loses me 700 life points, dropping me down to 200. And that is the end of Curseof's turn. He is out of moves. Completely out of moves, unless he has any other quick spell in his hand. Yes, Nightmare Reel is going to burn him for the final 500, and that is going to be the first game for me. Now going through some siding, I think in this deck, currently my side, I had some Offerings to the Doom, Night Beam, Forceful Checkpoint. I don't think that I really sided anything out. All right, going into game 2, and Cursive electing to go second. I'm going to go first. Once again, no monsters in my opening hand, unless you count Zoma. I think Zoma counts. I consider Zoma as a monster when I build my deck. So I got Twister, Zoma the Spirit, Nightmare Wheel, and Night Beam. Main phase 1 here. Gonna set that Nightmare Wheel, gonna set that Zoma of the Spirit, but no monsters to summon just yet. I'm gonna pass my turn to Cursive. Keeping the Twister in my hand, not seeing a reason to set it just yet. I want those spots open. He's gonna summon Midoriya, 1200 attack, and set 2 back row. This is the one that acts as like the Yomi ship, where you can target a monster and take it with you if it's destroyed by battle. He's gonna try and attack me for 1200. I see no reason to hang on to that Nightmare Wheel. I'm just gonna use it right now. Put a Nightmare Wheel onto Midoriya. That's a guaranteed 500 life points from him this turn, and that's 1 counter for my Twisted Personality. I drew the half shot, so I do not have any monsters out, and I foolishly moved on without end phase triggering Zoma, unfortunately. That was a misplay from my part. Definitely no reason to hold on to Zoma back there. I should have triggered that on the end phase and put it on the field so I could put it into attack this turn. I got a Night Beam, so I'm going to go ahead and Night Beam one of those back rows. Cursive's going to chain this. So, okay, he's going to chain Double Cyclone here, targeting Nightmare Wheel and his back row, which pretty much makes Night Beam useless. And that was a Nightmare Wheel of his own. So Double Cyclone going to get rid of my Nightmare Wheel and Night Beam fizzling out. So Midoriya is back and ready to fight at 1200. I'm going to go ahead and set my Twister now that I have the spots open, and I'm probably going to hang on to my half shot because I don't really have a monster to use it on yet, and Midoriya's attack isn't that strong. Cursive's main phase 1, not setting anything, summoning anything, going right into the battle phase. He's going to hit me for 1200. I'm going to let this happen. I'm going to take the 1200. I get another counter on Twisted Personality. That's the best part. Every time I'm like, oh, well, at least I got a counter. So I took some life point damage there, but I got a counter, so now I could discard a card from his hand if I wanted to. And I was a smart boy, and I remembered on the end phase to summon the Zoma. So I activated Zoma the Spirit, got into defense mode, and now it is my turn. I'm able to swing it into attack mode. And I did just draw Offerings to the Doom, so I sided in an Offerings to the Doomed. My reasoning for that is in this matchup, just to get rid of Relinquished, like I can't deal with trying to beat over Relinquished twice and dealing with him sucking up my monsters. So I have our Offerings to the Doom now, and I dropped both counters to ditch a card from Cursive's hand, and I sniped that Sphere Karibo. Thank goodness. I'm actually going to Offerings to the Doom Midoriya, going all out, trying to do 1800 right to his face. I am skipping my next draw phase here, so what you see on the field is what you're going to see next turn. I don't draw anything new. Battle phase, 1800, and he doesn't have the Sphere Karibo, so that is going to go through, leaving Cursive with 1700 life points, and that's a counter for my Twisted Personality. Cursive setting a back row. Are we going to see Relinquished come through here? He does have Sphere Karibo in his grave, so he could use it as the ritual fodder by banishing. Passing it to me, my main phase, like I said, no draw phase because of Offerings to the Doom, so I have no cards in my hand, and it's really just me and Zoma. Battle phase. Am I going to get away with another? Okay, he's got his own Zoma the Spirit, so I'm going to quick play that Twister spell and get that off the field, pay 500 life points for it, and the duel is over. So I was able to keep the momentum and clear his field quick enough, and Zoma for the win with the attack 1800. Twisted Burn, taking it over Cursive's Relinquished deck. I don't know how consistent this deck is, but I am excited to profile it for you guys. I have all the other physical decks on their way, so I ordered the first 2, one of each, really quickly so I could get those openings out for you guys, but the other decks are on their way so I can start building and profiling decks for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this in the interim, and I got some other stuff coming up for you guys too. But of course, if you guys like the video, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe for more, and I will catch you guys later. See ya!